Hi there, Micki Cope with the Wandering Road back again. I've been out sick, sorry folks. Some of you have asked how come I haven't been on for a while. Allergies. Okay, I want to start this out with showing you a poster. And I'm going to say this is the National Employ Older Workers Week, which starts next week on the 23rd through the 29th.
That's correct.
I'm reading through this thing.
Yep.
Can you see it? Got it. And it'll be up on the bulletin board on the station. I can't show it anymore. And my guests today are Harold Hanson, who is the area manager for National Able Network, whom I work for. And we have Bryan Dalton,
Correct.
who is the trainer. What was the
Regional Training Manager.
regional trainer for National Able Network. And we come to talk about hiring people. I'm going to turn it over to you.
See, I told you, Brian.
See, I told you I didn't know what you
told
were
you.
going to say.
No, okay. The National Employ Older Work Week is done the last week of every September. And it's been going on for about 14 years.
Ah,
Okay. It started out, actually, it started out in Eisenhower, President Eisenhower days.
good alike.
It wasn't basically called the National Week. It was mostly for farmers. And back in his time, in the 50s, if you hit 40 years old, you were considered old.
Right.
And basically, if you hit 50, nobody would hire you. So we used to be told, and I smile because I remember this, get a job, make sure it's permanent, make sure it will last beyond 40. Because when you hit 40 and you start looking for work, it's going to be tough. And that's basically started. And he did it mostly with the farm groups because Eisenhower grew up in the farmlands down in Pennsylvania and so forth. Then, to carry it on further, Lyndon B. Johnson, when he was president, put in a law called the Title V, which was for hire older people, 55 and over, unemployed and with low income, and try to hire people within that range because it seemed like people started to live longer. And we have, as of
Yeah, a lot.
today.
Yeah,
Pardon?
a lot.
Yeah, well, Maine now has the oldest population around as far as states go per, percentage. So that is basically how it started. And then CSEP came from President Johnson as Senior Community Service Employment Program. And
Good for
Right.
you. I wouldn't have gotten that.
well, boy, Brian and I really really worked on that. But at the beginning, I'm going to hold this up for a minute, so hold it. You'll notice on here it says older worker. Well, when Title V came out, it was known as older worker. But now they've changed it to senior.
Ah,
Okay, instead of saying older, because what means older? Who knows now? And so, once more,
you became politically correct.
that's correct. Yeah, that is correct. Okay. So it has been going on for 47 years now. CSEP has.
Wow.
And it is in September, we try to make a push on for employers to look at the senior citizens because there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of knowledge. They're usually will be on time more, be more proficient, and it takes away a lot of the myths that they used to say about senior citizens. Oh, the idea was hire a younger person because you'll have them longer. But what happens today is you hire a younger person, and after 2 or 3 or 4 years, they learn the job, they get the experience, and then they move, hopefully for them, upwards into a better paying job. So that's one of the myths that doesn't hold true anymore. Sure, a younger person physically may be more capable than an older person, a senior person. That goes without saying. But there are so many different things that a senior person brings to your work, and they also are very helpful to the younger workers, because statistically, the younger worker has more time off for sickness than a senior does. This is basically with the facts and figures that we have arrived out of the Department of Labor. So you see, some of the myths of, no, better not hire a senior, doesn't hold true. And we're pushing, and hopefully in this time of employment, that the employers will give our senior citizens a chance, to apply and possibly hire them. All right. Now, National Able in the state of Maine has been part of CSEP since 2002, the year 2002. And it's worked up. A year or so ago, in my area, we had around 160 people. But then, unfortunately, the freeze came on, and we weren't able to put any more on. But we're down now to 90 because we have placed, the last term we placed 22 people.
Cool.
Yeah, we've placed them. Some of them did it on their own, but that is because of our trainer who's been training them how to do certain things, and it's helped them. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to the trainer and let him tell you a little bit about his work.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, really, the training department augments the regular training that our participants in the program get through their host agencies. So they're assigned to a host agency providing what would be considered community service for the host agency. However, for the participant in the program, it gives them an opportunity to gain current work experience and develop some skills that are consistent with their employment goals. My department takes that training to the next level in terms of job readiness. Once the participants spend some time in the program, updating their skills and becoming as job ready as they can possibly be, then they come through my training sessions, which help them to find unsubsidized employment. So my training programs consist of resume writing and cover letters, how to prepare and really nail that interview. One of the things that has been kind of a curveball for a lot of seniors is the fact that many employers today are requiring that you submit an online job application. So one of the training modules that I developed talks about, well, first of all, what is an online job application? How does it work? What are they looking for? What aren't they looking for? And how can we do it effectively and efficiently? So through the various training programs that I put together and teach, it gives people an opportunity to understand how the job market works today. Long gone are the days when you'd lose your job or you'd quit your job in the morning of a day. You would look for work that afternoon. Ask a company if they were hiring. They would say yes, hand you a clipboard with an application on it. You would meet with a hiring manager right then and there and probably get a job offer that same day. Those days are long gone, and the process has changed dramatically. So it's really important as people are trying to find that unsubsidized employment that they understand what is the process today, what is involved, and there is a tremendous amount of work that is being put on us, I would say, the job seekers. We're required to do more and more work in the application phase of the hiring process, and we're not writing resumes the way that we did in the past.
Why are they putting more emphasis?
Well, they want more information up front before they ever offer you an opportunity to walk through their doors. I don't know about some of your viewers are maybe looking for work and have applied for some jobs, and employers, they just don't want you to come in their four walls. They want to make sure that they learn enough about you to decide, yes, this person is qualified, yes, we want to invite them in. So they're asking for a lot of information to the point where they're even asking your permission for a background check or even a credit check prior to even having you come in for an interview. And for interviews, a lot of times people aren't prepared, but many companies today, the first interview that you're going to get would be considered a screening or a gatekeeper type interview, and that's typically done over the telephone. So really, for us, the job seeker, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of just anticipation. The climate has changed, the culture has changed. Years ago, when we would apply for a job in an organization, we'd hear back one way or another. Today, other than automated responses generated maybe through email, we're not hearing that feedback. We're just not knowing it. So we're spending all of this time putting together our promotional products, our resumes, our cover letters, our applications, and we hit a send button on a computer and we just wait and we don't hear back. So really what I'm trying to do is help to make sure that mature workers have the best chance possible at making it through the screening process, getting through the doors, and being able to represent and present themselves to the potential employer.
So the older person, like I'm 72, the older person's going to be able to get out there and get a job.
Absolutely. As long as they know what the process is, what is involved, what the potential employer is looking for, and just how the process works.
Okay. Like with Able, I noticed Able just puts out with puts your people into nonprofits.
Yeah.
Do you ever put them in with a profit organization so that they can learn from that section?
Well, that's
they
another
want?
step. First of all, when people apply to us, and we try to find a host agency that we can put them in to start training. They'll go in for minimum wage, and unfortunately it can't be higher, for 18 to 20 hours to learn their skills, get their skills back, or learn to communicate, to get involved. Then from there, hopefully with the training and all, we can move them into a possible position. Now we do have a program called OJE, on the job employment. And on this one here, profit companies can be involved. And what we do is, if we have if an employer needs or wants to train somebody to learn their business, say a tool maker. If a tool maker said, gee, I need a couple of tool makers, I would like to train them, but I can't afford it right off. Well, under our program, OJE, we may have somebody within our ranks that would be willing to train as a tool maker. And we will pay for that. We'll pay for the first 4 weeks full payment, and the second 4 weeks half payment. And so consequently, the employer can train the person and basically do not have to pay for it. We will help pay for that. And on Thursday the 20th, we're having an open house for employers or anybody else that want to come at our offices in Sweetser up on the hill, we call it, where the Sweetser School is. And from 5 to 7, so those that are interested, they can come up there to our offices, and we'll be very happy to explain the OJE, how we may be able to help them. Also show them some of the benefits, other benefits that we may be able to do to help. So we are progressively moving forward. We've had 2 successful OJEs, basically. We've placed 2 people under the program. And unfortunately, well, we had two, they were successful, then one person moved on from there to another place. But outside of that, it seems to be a good program, and we would like to promote it more and help more employers to obtain people to train, regardless of the age. They're 55 and over. We've had some success stories too about some of our people talking about age. We do have one person, 87 years old, that did such an outstanding job as a receptionist secretary for a host agency that they hired her.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, age is just in the mind, I guess, you know. And she did a very nice job. We had another gentleman who we put in a place, in a nonprofit place. He was a sailmaker, but he said he wanted to do something different. So we placed him in a kitchen. He wanted to learn to cook, and he became a prep cook in the kitchen. And just about a month ago, he got a full-time job in a restaurant in Portland.
Well, good deal.
Yeah, so there are opportunities out there. We're trying to get the employer and our people together. And if anybody senior 55 and over think they qualify for our program, please give us a call or visit us. We'll see what we can do. We are taking applicants. We're not going to probably be able to place anybody until October. But we're taking applicants now for that time. And if any employer is, as we were saying, is interested, we'd really like to talk to them about it.
Okay. Did I read somewhere that there's help in getting financial aid to go back to college? Was
Well,
that part of what I read?
I don't know about not going back full time. No, but say if there's, like over here, the Saco College.
Yeah.
Yeah, if our participants, if there's a class in the morning, we will pay the person's hours that they would normally work to go to that class. So they wouldn't lose an hour of work, we would pay for that hour. So they would get a little stipend, and we would probably pay towards their books. Maybe not all of it, all depends on how much it is.
Get a Pell Grant for
But
the...
yeah, but we will help anyone that wants to go to, you know, part-time to a community college. On our time, we say, we will help them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering if like in my case, if I wanted to go back and get my master's, what
Well,
would be allowed in there?
not full-time, Mick.
Not full-time.
No,
Okay.
it would have to be part-time. It would be on the hours that you're working during that time.
Okay.
We have very limited resources when it comes to supported services, and that's where those funds would come from. So we, of course, want to promote lifelong learning and have people have opportunities to continue to develop and grow. So we will do everything that we possibly can with the limited funds that we do have to help people progress. I know a lot of times that people are allowed 50, sometimes 50, 55 and older would be allowed to audit classes in a lot of colleges out there. So not for credit, but able to attend and gain the knowledge. And I know that many of our participants are partaking in that opportunity as well. There are other college courses, not again for credit per se, working towards a master's, online for free. That are out there. So again, we're
An online college?
doing an online college. Yeah, there are some out there that it's absolutely for free. Coursera.org is one that came to mind. I just audited a class through that. It was fantastic. It was the history of the internet, which was just absolutely fascinating. So there are opportunities that we're always wanting to make sure people are aware of and participating in. The whole idea is one of the biggest reasons why employers are not employing older workers today is because they think that their skills are outdated. And we're doing everything that we can possibly to make sure that we are helping to make sure that the skills are as current as possible. All of our ABLE locations have a computer lab that our participants are able to access with whether it be independent working on various their resumes or various online training programs, or we also have people in-house that are able to help support folks that come in and make an appointment and have a one-on-one tutor or even group sessions. So we're always looking at opportunities to make sure that we are putting our seniors in the best possible case scenario in terms of being able to be marketable. And that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. People today are getting jobs because they appear marketable, they appear that they have a cultural fit within an organization, and it's all about making sure you're putting your ducks in a row to make the best plea for your case, if you will. You want to make sure that you are promoting those skills that a lot of the younger generations really struggle with. When I'm working with seniors, I'm always reminding them that talk about your customer service skills. Talk about the fact that you know how to treat people. How do you know that? That's the way we were brought up, to treat people like we would want to be treated. So a lot of times our seniors are not talking about that. They just assume that that's the way everybody should treat everyone, so they don't see that as a marketable skill or skill set. And I see it much differently. I see it as incredibly marketable and something that you really need to put to the forefront to make your sales pitch. That said, if you're able to do that and connect with an organization, you have to do a little bit of research today. You have to find out about the organization. You have to find out about the particular job for which you're applying for. And when you start doing that and targeting your tools, if you will, tools meaning resume, cover letter, and those types of things, target those tools toward that particular organization and position, you are going to have greater success in terms of being able to get in there and interview. And once you get in there and interview, your personal skills, your personality will come through, your customer service stuff, all of that stuff will sell itself. But it's all about getting in those doors.
Right. Right. Now, I was thinking, I was just asking about the college. Maybe somebody would be interested if it was concerning anything. But what if, I know there's a lot of restrictions that we've got, that you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't have another job. You got to, well, we got this job. Most people don't know that either. But I was really, didn't I take the resume thing from you?
I would hope that it would be far more memorable than you're making it sound.
No, not really. I remember taking was it him? It was? Oh, okay. I know I've had a class with you.
It may have been Sharon.
I do.
Sharon, you think?
I think it was Sharon.
You
came
definitely
in.
took a class with me, for sure.
I thought I took a class with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because on the resume, forget the old resume. Just
Yeah.
forget it. It just ain't there. Mm-hmm. And what you're talking about on the resume is like another language. I always say that if you go and take a job, you're going to have to learn the language of that job. If you're going to, just like you're learning
Right.
Latin and Spanish and German, everything has its own language.
Correct.
You take biology, you take chemistry, whatever. Everything has its own language. So I was so surprised that it showed up on a resume. I really did. I had a problem with that one. But I got to get one ready for Bob.
You've got to know the language. You're right. You've got to know the company. You've got to know the job that you're applying for. You need to use industry-related terminology, up-to-date terminology, to make you look like the appropriate fit for this position. So it's a lot of work. People come to my classes and their jaws drop and they can't believe that there's so much required today. Yeah. But it is, and it's investment in time. Looking for a job is a full-time job, and it's an investment in yourself. And I'm just here to help guide the way.
Okay. And what are you going to guide?
I'm guiding. I am trying to keep the program going, make sure all the paperwork is done correctly, take in new candidates. I do have 3 people that assist me, and they're doing an excellent job. They're representatives. 2 of them, in fact, are down at the job fair today in Lewiston,
Oh,
and they were down there. I got a call just before we came on the air that they had a very successful uh, job fair. They had quite a few people interested in our program. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep it going and trying to come up with new ideas and new solutions. One of the things that Bryan has been working on, but I have and others, is portfolios. Getting people to learn how to make or complete a portfolio so that when they go in for an interview, they will have material there, because if they see it, they believe it. It's one thing of saying it, but it's another thing of showing so they can see your work. And a lot of artists and professional people used to have done this and been doing it. Now we're getting so for secretaries, for people learning receptionist work, maintenance work, and so forth. Portfolios can help them greatly, because here, this is what I have done. This is what I have contributed to the people that I used to work for. This is my mission in life. That's another term, Bryan. You want to explain that mission? The term mission? You know what I'm talking? I know he does.
I hope so.
Yeah.
When I hear you say that, it brings me to an employment goal.
Yeah.
The importance of anybody that is looking for work, you need to have an employment goal. You need to start your own individualized employment plan to be able to get to that goal. So if your goal is to become an administrative assistant and you are lacking some skills, maybe lacking some experience, utilizing the time in our program to be able to be put into a host agency, to be able to actually practice some of those skills, gain some current work experience, will help make you more marketable. And that's the kind of stuff that becomes part of the portfolio, which is that marketing tool to be able to sell yourself to a potential employer.
okay. Okay, anything else for the following week? What's going to happen then?
Well,
Have
basically,
they
I
got
think that
anything
we
going
have,
on?
yeah, it will be next week. Actually, open house is next week, not the 20th. It's the 27th, I believe, Thursday, is when we're going to have the open house.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I said the 20th. The 20th is when we're having our York County participant meeting, and we expect around 35 participants there.
Okay.
And the state director is going to come down and talk to us and show us new things and new ideas about our program.
Cool.
Yeah, so that is one thing that's going on. Bryan is going to have on his webcam, he does it by webcam, you know, it's not just for state of Maine. He goes to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Illinois, and Indiana on his webcam. So he may have anywhere from 1 to 40.
Or more. This
more.
next week, we're really pushing this, having larger venues, participating remotely, where it's a live training program with me talking about how to prepare for an interview today, where interviews are few and far between. So it's so important that we nail that interview to actually secure a job offer. So I'm looking at my goal is to have well over 100 people attending in 5 different states throughout various geographic regions in all of those states. So really looking to really promote that, especially next week.
Cool. So on the 27th, over at Sweetser,
Yeah, it'll be open
in
house.
Saco, it's open house from 5 to 7.
That's right. And
All
we
got
will
that.
be happy to talk to anybody about our OJE program.
Cool.
That's what we're trying to, we're outside of pushing employment, we're also trying to push this program. because it's kind of a win-win situation for the employer. The employer gets to train, we pay for the training, and at the end of the 8 weeks, if the participants say, no, this isn't for me, okay. If the employer said, gee, it's not working out, that's fine, we can stop it. Doesn't mean they have to hire them on the spot.
Okay.
Okay, so there, there is that little security
Gotta
net
be a
there
fit.
for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Like me going to the hospital, that was pretty cool.
To the hospital.
Yeah, you had me working at the hospital when I first came on
Oh,
board.
that's right, I did.
Yes, I did.
That's right, I did have you
That
at
was
the
fun.
hospital. Yeah, and then we
Stressful, but
moved you
fun.
down here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Then
Oh,
we have
well, this is way too much.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Well, the studios down here are beautiful now.
It is
Yes,
beautiful.
they are.
Yeah, they are so much better for you people.
Yeah.
So much better for benefit because of the technology and everything that you can show and on the station. Yeah.
Yeah, I marvel at all the knowledge that Polis has, Steve Polis,
Yeah,
the
right.
director.
Yeah.
And it just, floors me. If something goes wrong, he knows exactly what to do. It amazes me.
Yeah.
Just
well,
amazes
that's
me.
great. That's great.
Talking about your boss.
One other thing I'd like to mention too, talking
I
about
was just going to ask you if there's
college or
anything more.
schooling, we also will send people to adult classes and so forth for English second language.
Ooh,
Yeah, if they come to our country, they do not speak English and so forth, they're in our program, we will pay and help them to go adult school to learn to speak English. Yeah. So that's another one of our features.
okay. This will be up on our bulletin board on the site, and this one will also be up on the bulletin board. Whoop. Bulletin board. So you'll be able to see this on Channel 3 and the show. What did you want me to read?
We've covered it.
Oh, well, gosh, good for you.
We
Is-
covered it, man.
Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, that's fine. We just want to get the message out, and hopefully we see employers that are interested in our program.
Okay.
Okay.
Are the employers invited to, on the 27th, was it?
Yes, it's basically for them, but others can come as well.
Okay.
Okay?
All you employers out there.
Okay?
Gotta
Just,
give
just for clarification in terms
Go
of
for
where we are on the Sweetser campus, it's 50 Moody Street, so you're taking Moody Street all the way back as far as you can go, and we're in the brick building at the very end after you're forced into a one-way, just because it can be a little bit confusing as to that campus. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here and talk about what I do, and just a message to employers out there that mature workers are good workers. They should be hired.
We are good workers. We're the best. Aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. With that note, I'm going to say goodbye. We'll see you next round. The next show's going to be a powwow, and we're going to tape that tomorrow. So everybody have a good day, good night. See you later.